Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. A knee-jerk stream on a Thursday needs must because it's only 2 days until the next deadline. Internet's looking awful already, but what is new? What is up? A bit of a weird week. Bruno Fernandes is not invincible when it comes to away games. He's now blanked, but he's only blanked once in away games, so his form is still good. Kevin De Bruyne's 4-pointers looks good now. Looks okay. And Salah is the king. Should have just captained Salah all on. Why do we overthink it? Salah is the best player to ever play FPL, and yet we still probably overlook him a little bit too much. Although he was maybe a little bit lucky with his goal. It was a massive deflection. How did you all get on? How did you all get on? It was quite a low scoring week. I've got 57 points, I think. And I've got a green arrow. Actually, there's one thing I never did. I never updated my score before I come on. So I'll quickly do that now while I'm reading the chat. I took out Son this week for Fernandes. Son gets 9 points. Absolutely ridiculous. But it is what it is, right? Let me just... Oh, my God. My windows are completely messed up. Let me get rid of this. Sorry, I'm just going to put my score up while I can. Live FPL. How many points am I on? So I'm on 58 as it stands. Oh, not 68. 58. Rank. Boom. Nice rank. Sorry, I know this is very boring to watch. Total points. I've broken the 800 point mark. There we go. Happy days. JPEG. There we go. You just watched me update my score, so when I bring it up in a minute, you can see it. There we go. Car stream, please. I mean, car stream probably would be less lagged filled as this absolute rubbish. So maybe I should do that. Is the stream down? No, but it is. The internet is all over the place tonight. It is up and down, up and down. I can see it. I can see it. It's so bad. 48 points, 39. Konza and Ryan didn't play. Yeah, Ryan's not going to play this weekend either. That ain't good. It's your fault that Bruno blanked. That's what they all say, yeah. No one ever says it the other way around when I bring someone in that scores. Switch Mings out for Diaz at the deadline. Ouch. 78 points. 78 points are massive this week. Honestly, massive. Like I said, I got 58 and it was I'll show you. Let me get rid of this. So this is my team. I got 58 points, which is a green arrow from 218k to 136k, which is nice. Like, I'm well happy with that. Why does the chat look weird? Why does it look so weird? Oh, stupid bloody thing. Oh, whatever. It's going to have to stay like that in the middle of the screen. Maybe if you can get enough legends on Patreon, you can afford to get a direct line. Yeah, if only it was that easy. All the tiers of Bruno captain. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right, with Bruno. He played fine. He just didn't really get forward. We had Greenwood, Marchand, Rashford all on the pitch, and they were doing the business. Like, Rashford up against Jagielka was ridiculous. And ultimately, there was quite a few goalkeeping errors tonight. Like, Rashford's second goal. What is Ramsdale doing? Not good at all. But a good win nonetheless. 3 goals again. I mean, I say a good win. Good to get the points. It wasn't really a good performance, but it is what it is. Olympus, how's it going? Lovely. It took your advice about not discounting Rashford, put him in and captain him. Nice. 71 before bonus and auto sub. Absolutely ridiculous. If you've not included Rashford, he's on for 3 bonus, unless McGoldrick has nicked it, which he quite possibly could have. Let's have a look. Yeah, McGoldrick's on for 3, so Rashford's only getting 2, but still a nice. If you know, Rashford's a massive differential. So if you've captained him, that is absolutely massive. It is a late night stream, yeah. De Bruyne out, fibre in. I would happily go for another sub 100 or over 100k finish if I could get fibre in. Let's see what happens soon. Fingers crossed. There was a guy in the estate the other day looking what needed to be done. And he knew my name, not because of this, but because I've been emailing so much to try and get it. So we'll see. But end of January, middle of February, that is when I'm getting my fingers crossed. But who knows? Don't talk to me about the Aston Villa game. It was so frustrating. El Ghazi must have had about 50 shots. Just absolutely no good. Traore can't finish. Like one of the Jack Grealish should have been on double digits. The amount of chances he set up was so good. And a couple of times he should have just been so much more selfish and just gone for goal. I know he did do that a couple of times. It didn't quite go in. But it was Jack Grealish today should have had points. And like Watkins, 1 point because he got a yellow card for coming back on the pitch too early when the referee didn't. When the referee hadn't told him he could come back on, was quite funny, to be honest. But it is what it is. So yeah, it was the Villa game was kind of frustrating, but also not that bad because Martin has still got plenty of points, so happy enough with that. But yeah, I think for next week, definitely keeping them. Not worried about Watkins and Grealish that much. Obviously, West Brom have kept now Man City and Man United to just 1 goal. And Big Sam's come in, of course. But I think he hasn't had that long with the team. So yeah, it was because he was bleeding. Yeah, okay. Well, either way, it was because he came on early, wasn't it? Whether he's bleeding or not. Yeah, it was good. Not good, sorry. I captain Martinez, masterstroke. Did you really captain Martinez? If you did, fair play. Is Bruno playing deeper now just this game? I don't think anything really changed too much. Just one of those games where he sat a bit deeper. I mean, at the end of the day, like his goal, I've said this a million times, so like I'm blue in the face. His open play goal threat is generally quite low compared to a lot of other players. And he doesn't always get forward, but he obviously had that spell, Everton and West Brom, where he was getting into the box and he scored a few of those chances. But yeah, his creativity has been on another level really this season so far. But his open play XG is still, and I have made a lot of my decisions based on that this season, it's still quite low. But obviously Leeds is a good fixture next, so I wouldn't be panicking about him just yet. I've already seen people now not captain him who are going to captain him. Obviously Salah scoring again. Salah hasn't blanked now for like 4, 5, 6 game weeks in a row or something like that when he's played. So obviously a lot of people now are looking at Salah instead, I'd say. But yeah, I don't think panic about Bruno Fernandes. I mean, I might get rid of him for Son or Kane in a few weeks, but we will wait and see. Son looking better value than Kane. Kane's not been great, to be honest. 25 points in the last 4 weeks, which isn't bad, right? It's over 6 points per game, but every other premium pretty much. Vardy, Son, Fernandes. Well, not Fernandes now, to be fair. In fact, how many points has Fernandes scored in the last 4? 10, 16, 5, 21. So he has now scored less than Kane in the last 4, 21. Then it's Kane on 25. Then I think it's Vardy, Son on 30. KDB 31, I think, and then Salah's 35. I talked about it in tomorrow's preview video. So there we go. Why is everyone transferring De Bruyne out? I thought it was okay, to be honest. I'm not really looking at getting rid of him. I think Southampton. Look, I'll bring up the team for next week. Southampton away and Newcastle at home. I'm fine with that. I'm going to keep him. So yeah, I think I'm not really, I don't really mind De Bruyne. Like I mean, at the end of the day, he wasn't too long. I know he hasn't scored from open play, but I mean, he's getting the chances. Like I feel like the not scoring from open play is the same as saying, well, Fernandes has always scored away from home, as if he's always going to score away from home. De Bruyne not scoring from open play. I don't know if I'm that bothered about it. He still looks good. He's still far forward. Didn't have too many shots against West Brom, not that I can remember in the box, but I mean, he put the ball on a plate the last two really big attempts at the end of that West Brom game. I mean, I said this on the team selection video, I think, that if he got the first assist, obviously he probably wouldn't have been in the position for the second one, but would have still been a 7-pointer, would have been fine. So yeah, De Bruyne is going nowhere. In terms of transfers for me this week, I'm not making any. This is my team. The only transfer I would think about is Reguilon to Diaz, but Spurs fixtures, as we know, are quite good coming up. As much as I'd love a Man City defender, I just think it's better to save the transfer. is there potential to get more news next week about more double game weeks? Like, will any of the Aston Villa, Man City, Man United games be rescheduled? Will we find out next week? Probably seems unlikely, but I might as well give myself a chance to find that out. And I certainly don't want to get rid of any of my attackers right now. Like, Calvert-Lewin against Arsenal was a good fixture, and then he's got Sheffield United, who are conceding for fun right now. So I think Calvert-Lewin definitely stays at this point. Got through the 2 really tough fixtures with an assist in each, so happy days. Nia, how's it going? 1 Calvert-Lewin and Grealish, or 2 De Bruyne to get Kane. Thoughts? I don't know what the question is. I wouldn't take out De Bruyne right now to get Kane, in my opinion. Like I wouldn't take out De Bruyne to get Kane for the next 2. Game week 16 maybe. The DCL and Grealish, I don't get what the question is. 1 DCL and Grealish, or 2 De Bruyne to get Kane. Yeah, I don't get the question. Do I think Vardy's essential? Absolutely not. No one's really essential. I'll tell you the one thing. I still haven't decided on my chip strategy. It's one of the reasons I want to put my transfer off till next week. So I'm not sure. I'm probably going to end up free hitting in one of 18 or 19. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage it without using that free hit. And if I do, I kind of got a feeling I'm going to use it for 19. The only thing is you can't use triple captain then, but I don't think that's that big an issue. And then the wild card probably in game week 30. If game week 29 is going to be a big blank game week, probably that. Can I recommend a transfer for you? Salah in. How's it going? Rashford and Vardy out for Salah and Watkins in. Ooh. Getting rid of Rashford before Leeds, who will probably leave themselves open at the back. And Vardy against Spurs. Salah's great. Watkins is good this week. Don't know how much longer. Maybe Crystal Palace the week after. I'd rather have Salah than Vardy, that's for sure. But it might not be the best week to take out Rashford. But you'll probably be happy with Salah and Watkins. Look at the status on FPL. What do you mean? Like this status? What about it? I don't know. Maybe I missed something. DCL and Grealish out to get Kane and Lookman. Nah. Grealish versus West Brom. Like, what's the rush to get Kane this week unless you really want to captain him? I know. He's got a great record against Leicester and all that, but Grealish before West Brom, Calvert-Lewin versus Arsenal. I'm not sure about that. Fulham's fixtures will turn after a couple of game weeks. They've just played Brighton, did nothing. I know they did well against Liverpool, but nah, I wouldn't do that. But that's just me. Vardy out, Kane in. I'd probably do that if I could do it for free. I wouldn't do it for a hit, I don't think. Free hit game week 18. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, when to free hit, it's really tough to talk about because there isn't a right or wrong answer. That's not sitting on the fence. There just genuinely isn't a right answer. Like if someone says they're free hitting in game week 18, I'm not going to turn around and say that's a bad choice. It should be 19 because the team might make more sense. Like for my team, I've currently got Martinez, Grealish, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, De Bruyne, Lamptey, I think, Reguilon, all playing in the blank, right? And if I want to get Kane and or Son in, that's another person not blanking either. So I might be better off using my free hit in game week 19. What I really need to do is go and look at which players I want to keep after game week 19, if that's the case. But there is no right or wrong answer, and I don't have an answer for my own strategy as it stands right now. I'm just looking to the next couple of weeks, really. Just annoying that we've got to decide all this over Christmas, because then it's going to hit January, and then bam, we're into the blank game weeks. No, Ortiz, how's it going? Mahrez out for Rashford or Son. I mean, Rashford's just smashed it, hasn't he? I think Son. I think 16. The game week fixtures, the fixtures from 16 are so good. I'd probably go Son. One shot in the box again. One goal. The guy is insane this season. I've given up. It's a bit like I said I've given up with Fernandes. He's just going to keep scoring, and now he hasn't. I'm almost saying the same for Son now. I've just given up with his ridiculously low amounts of shots and ridiculous amount of goals, but it keeps on happening. So who am I to write him off? Blessing, how's it going? Kane and Podence or Grealish and Watkins? For this week, Grealish and Watkins, I think. I mean, Podence is decent. He's been looking decent. Obviously, Kane's good. But I think it's West Brom. I'd just keep Grealish and Watkins if you've got them. How's it going, Summer? Klein out and then have 7.3 for a defender. Who to get? I mean, that depends a lot on your strategy. But obviously, you can get a Liverpool defender for that. And they got really nice fixtures now. So you could go for Robertson or Trent. Or just get a Chelsea defender or a Diaz, I'd say. I still think they're probably the best choices to kind of start looking at. Marius says again, no Bruno but own Kane. 2 free transfers next week and go for Bruno. If that's Kane to Bruno, basically, I wouldn't do that. I would just keep Kane now. Why hold the second wildcard and not set up for Game Week 19? The next double game would likely to be much later in the season, so transfers can be used to navigate those. Yeah, but I mean, technically transfers could be used to navigate these ones, right? The reason to hold the second wildcard is because there will be another kind of big enough blank game week, which I think will have at least 4 fixtures blanking. I could be wrong on that. I think it's about 4 in game week 29. So if you've got no wildcard and no free hit, and then you've got a game week where it's going to have 4 or more fixtures, excuse me, blanking, that's going to be annoying. So I feel like having one of those chits, wildcard or free hit. I could wildcard now and save the free hit, I guess. That is an option. But I need to have a think about it. Like, I guess I could dead end into Game Week 18 and then wildcard in Game Week 19. Like, that is something I could do. It does mean I can't use the bench boost straight after the wildcard in the double game week, though. Although I'm not necessarily going to be able to... use it anyway after a double game in a double game week. And obviously can't use triple captain, but it might not be the end of the world because Man City are going to have some triple captain opportunities as well. I don't think triple captain De Bruyne is that bad of a thing. Is De Bruyne worth his price tag when City can't score? I mean, not straight after West Brom, but he was straight after Fulham. So I think if you've got him, I don't see a reason to get rid of him personally. Not for the next couple. You can maybe look at it after that and then see what you think. But the fixtures are so good in and around the blank and double game week, you know. So I don't really have much of a want to get rid of him personally. I mean, I know a lot of people will now because he's just blanked, but you know, one of those assists goes in, I don't even think we're really talking about it. So yeah, De Bruyne is staying for me. No doubts about that in my mind at all. Just like I had no doubts about captaining De Bruyne over Bruno, you know. And he has again thoughts on taking 3 hits to build a bench boost Game Week 19 team. Yeah, not against it at all. If that's the best time to do it, then go for it. Obviously, it all depends on the hits you're taking. Like if you're having to take out players that are going to score well, then maybe not. But I don't think. I mean, you're spending 12 points to try and get the most out of your bench boost. So it depends how detrimental that is to the rest of your side. So like if you're taking out players that are going to score well to make sure you're just set up for a bench boost here, I just wouldn't bother. That bench boost is not usually as good as we think it is. Obviously it was good for me last season, but I mean come on, I'm not going to get that again. 30 whatever points it was in a single game week. It was just crazy lucky. Guar, please let us know when you're using triple captain on who so we can stay away. Triple captain is jinxed for me. I mean, if I was using it in game week 19, I'd probably just triple captain Salah. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I could save it for a Man City or a Man United, like a Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne shout. That doesn't seem so bad to me. Why captain Salah? Because Salah's really good at football. And Crystal Palace are not keeping many clean sheets this season so far. I could still change it to Fernandes. I also think De Bruyne is a perfectly fine option this week. But right now it's on Salah. I just think goal threat wise, he's always just there, isn't he? So yeah, he's just really good. Crystal Palace expected goals conceded on a similar par to Newcastle, West Ham. Sheffield United, Everton. Not far off. They've not been fantastic so far this season. So I don't know. It does feel like one of those games where if Crystal Palace managed to, nick a clean sheet or keep the score down, you wouldn't be so surprised. But I still think Salah is a perfectly good captain choice this week. I mean, when isn't Salah a perfectly good captain choice? Like, look at his returns. Return against Spurs. Return against Fulham. 2 returns against Wolves, 1 return against Brighton, 1 return against City, 1 return against West Ham. So he hasn't blanked since game week 7. Blanked against Sheffield United, return. 2 blanks, Chelsea and Sheffield United all season. That's it. And the 1 game he missed. Joe, how's it going? I'm sick of seeing Ollie Watkins in my team. I'm not. I don't know. I feel like his movement's quite good. He gets into good positions. It's just the annoying thing today was Grealish put so many chances on a plate, but it was for the likes of El Ghazi and Traore, not for Watkins. I think that would have been better. So maybe he didn't take up the right positions. I don't know, but I'm fine with it. West Brom away. I mean, I've got Bamford and Calvert-Lewin. Who else would I even have? Maybe Wilson, but whatever. I'm okay with it. Rafael, how's it going? Thank you very much. What do I think about triple captain in Salah? Yeah, again, don't mind it at all. The only thing that puts me off slightly is obviously it's Man United, that first game. And yes, Man United have done well at conceding recently. But, that could be another game that's tight like the Man City game was. So then you're relying on Burnley. And we know what Burnley can be like. So, I don't know. I'm torn. I mean, I wouldn't really worry about captain Salah because he is Salah, but I feel like there's potentially going to be better double games to come, Watkins would have missed 2. Maybe. Am I sure you want to keep your faith around Watkins? I mean, it's not... This is the thing, right? And this is what I think I've actually done really well this season, is I'm not... Okay, with Che Adams, maybe I did it a little bit. But he was dropping in price, and I thought more pay was going to be good. I was completely wrong about that. I've not really been looking for reasons to force players out. I really think I've stuck with that this year. I haven't taken that many hits. I think I've taken 3, which for me in 12 weeks or 13 weeks now is not that much. So Watkins against West Brom. Why would I even consider getting rid of him? Gavin, how's it going? Sadio Mane, good fixtures and building for the double game week. Yeah, I mean, I would still take Salah over Mane every single day. If you've got Salah and you want to double up and you can afford it, not a massive issue. It's obviously eating a lot of money into your budget. Salah is going to score plenty soon. He's getting too many good chances for him to not. It just hasn't fallen for him. It's just, I don't know. In some ways he's looked off the pace, but I just think he's had so many chances and he's just not getting in the back of the net, which is obviously what you want. But he's too good to stay down, basically. A bit like Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is going to get another big haul soon. It's going to be from open play. And suddenly we're going to start talking about whether Kevin De Bruyne is essential. Do we actually need to keep Kevin De Bruyne even though he's not got a double game week, etc.? So, yeah, I don't have an issue with Mane. It's just I'm thinking about my team and what players I would want to get rid of. It's so hard to fit him in. But if you can, and it fits in with the other players that you want, I mean, why not? On his day, he's as good as anyone, isn't he? I just sort of never capture the early kickoff. What I would say is never base your captaincy on the time of day the game is being kicked off. Already have Salah free hit then bench boost, I think is the way forward. Free hit then bench boost with Jota out, surely nailed. Yeah, they're pretty much nailed. Obviously, again, chip strategy is different depending on what chips you got left. Like bench boosting game week 19 without a wild card is tricky, to be honest. What's my next transfer? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I'm saving my transfer for next week. Right now, I don't know what that transfer would be. I really don't. The only thing I can think of for a transfer next week is if I decide that I'm not free hitting in game week 19, maybe I would do I don't know, Mitchell to Sufal or something, but I just don't know. I don't know what my transfer is next week. I need to have a proper look at at what team I want to build for Game Week 19, and then which players I want after that. I think I'm gonna have to get a pen and paper out. I really do. It's crazy the amount of planning without a wildcard. If I had a wildcard, it'd be so much easier. I think still difficult, but so much easier. Joao, how's it going? Trent or Robertson to bring in? I feel like I would probably go Robertson. A part of me would want to go Trent to be different because I know he's lower owned now, but I don't know. Robertson stepped up a bit this year, and they're not so reliant on Trent. Like, you know, from here to the end of the season, if they get similar minutes, they'll probably score a similar amount of points. But Robertson's so far forward, he's taking set pieces now as well. I'd probably just go for him, I think. Those that triple captain in 19 will be the winners, as remaining double games will see rotation when you consider the likely fixture combinations. Regret not using wildcard one I wanted to earlier in the season. Yeah, potentially, because of the FA Cup games and stuff that are happening before, they should be able to rest a few players. So yeah, you could be right there. Might not be so many rests given the fixture schedule. And he has a good time to get Burnley defenders. It is, I mean, trying not to fixate too much on blanks and doubles, but it's impossible. But Burnley have a double in Game Week 19, and the fixtures before are really good as well. So I looked them up earlier. So I did a preview video. I've already recorded it. It's going out tomorrow morning. And I talked about Burnley defenders in there because I was talking about players with good fixtures in the run-up. So they play Wolves at home, Leeds away, Sheffield United at home, and Fulham at home. That's 3 really good home fixtures. Leeds could be tough, but yeah, I think someone like Charlie Taylor looks like good value right now. And I don't know, he was really good last year, wasn't he, for a time? Slow Ross, how's it going? 73 this game. Is that it? 73. Unlucky. 2 free transfers, Bruno and Kane for Sterling and Vardy. If that's to bring in Bruno and Kane and you're taking out Sterling and Vardy, that seems like a great move to me. Or even Kane and Son if you've not already got Son. Jack Harrison or Cleek. I'd probably go for Harrison. I mean, if Leeds get a bunch of penalties, then obviously that will look not very clever. But I'd probably go for Harrison, I think. Best Chelsea attacker. Is Giroud nailed on? Is he nailed on? I mean, I'd have to say no. I don't know if I would be... I don't know if I would be completely sure that Giroud is completely nailed on. You know, at some point he's probably going to get rotated out for Abraham or whatever it might be. I mean, who's the best attacker for Chelsea? It's probably still Timo Werner, and is he any good? Is he any good as an FPL option, I should say? I'm just not sure right now. So I'd probably still go Werner if I was buying a Chelsea attacker. Although Giroud, if he keeps playing, is good value. Paul, how's it going? You left Pedence on my first sub. Ouch. Whole min league thought it was hilarious. Yeah, that's the problem with min leagues. They just want you to fail. It's funny I just mentioned Werner. Is it time to sell Werner? Probably, yeah. Like, as much as I think he probably still is the best Chelsea attacker, I also don't think it's a bad time to sell him. Like, at the end of the day, he's blocking one of the other premiums, and Son, Kane, Fernandes, Salah, De Bruyne are probably all better. So, I think you sell him. I think you do. Like, West Ham at home, like, you can fall into, I don't want to say a trap, but you can fall into a loop, right, where if I know this is chill up, obviously you've got the same fixtures, you could now say, well, I'll give him the West Ham game. It's quite a good fixture. Then he blanks, something else comes up, and you're like, well, Arsenal conceded goals all season. I'll just keep him for the Arsenal game. And I think if it's a straight choice between like being able to, for free, go from Werner to Son, Kane, whoever it might be, I think I would just make the swap now. Brought Mahrez and Jesus in as I waited and was priced out of De Bruyne move. The captain swing points and meant a drop from 25k to 100k. Ouch, waiting can be costly. Yeah, absolutely. But also sometimes it works, doesn't it? It's just one of those things, I guess. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anan, how's it going? -4 fail. Jota, Robbo out. Grealish, James in. Ouch, but you didn't really lose that by too much. Did Robertson get any bonus points? I don't think he did he? I could be wrong on that. Yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. You've got 5 players playing in the bank. Should I go for free hit and then bench boost in Game Week 19? I mean, if you've got the players for a bench boost, go for it. Yeah, if you've got a squad you're happy with and you don't have to hurt all your points in the next few weeks, why not? Do I still like Pulisic? I do if he plays every week and shows some kind of form. Then yeah, I do. I don't have a wild card. I'll try and do a wild card video at some point. Obviously, it's a bit of a nightmare with the amount of fixtures and stuff coming up. Like next week's gonna the rest of this week is just full of game week 14 stuff. Then next week's gonna be game week 15 stuff. So yeah, there you go. It's gonna be a bit frustrating to try and get out the videos. Ideally, I'd probably put them out closer to 18, 19, but by that point, everyone's already made the decisions. And game week 16, the wildcard video would have to be out on like the 26th or 27th of December, which is also a nightmare. But we'll see. We will see. Barkley and Sice for Grealish and Mitchell. As long as you don't have to, obviously, as long as you're not relying on Mitchell playing, yes. But don't know when Barkley's going to be back. Surely he's going to be back soon. Yeah, I think he was close to this week, so hopefully he's back for West Brom. That would be big. That would be big. Mendy, Diaz, Cancelo, Cresswell, Churro. What should I do? You got 3 Man City defenders. Wow. I mean, I don't know. What should you do? Be happy you got so many defenders, but you must be playing like 5 at the back. Or you're asking me which one you should bring in? If you've got them all, then I'd maybe start taking some money out of defence. Starting with 1 or 2 of the Man City players. What will be the main deciding factor in your choice of strategy? First of all, I really need to give it some proper thought. I basically need to decide what my ideal Game Week 19 team would be, and then work backwards to what can I actually get to, and how much worse is it from what I can get to. And by getting that team with my transfers, how much am I hurting game week like 15 to 18? And if I'm free hitting in game week 19, for example, and I've got a team that I think I'll be okay with in game week 18, do I like that team from game week 20 onwards? So I need to almost look at what players do I want in game week 20, and what players do I want in game week 15, 16, 17, and which is the best strategy to have them and also do the best in 18 and 19. So there's so many factors that could sway it. Like right now, if I'm thinking that I've got Reguilon and I want to keep him, and I could bring in Kane and or Son, then straight away I'm suddenly thinking I'm probably going to be okay for game week 18. And also, I think with game week 18, the key for me is, like if we bring up the fixtures here, so let's say my current team, right? Let's say I took out, I don't know, Fernandes. Probably not Salah. I don't really want to take out Salah, but let's say I took out, because I think I'd want Salah after, wouldn't I? Game week 20, Spurs away, West Ham away, Brighton at home. I'd probably want him back pretty quick. But let's say I took out Fernandes and... Nah, hang on, I need to think about this. Let's just say I did Fernandes to Son, and I've got 2 Spurs, got Calvert-Lewin, that's 3, got 3 Villa, 6, De Bruyne at 7, and I think that's it then. So I've got 7 players... and Lamptey are 8 players of those playing Man City. But the thing is, with this game week, there's going to be 2 popular captains. It's going to be Kevin De Bruyne, or it's going to be Harry Kane and Son. And so I'm going to have the captaincy covered probably. So then, like, okay, having Villa players versus Spurs is not ideal. But I just don't know where the rest of the points are coming in. Like Newcastle away to Sheffield United. I don't know. It's not that exciting, is it? Really. I mean, Pedence and Neto could be options. And it's not that I don't want a free hit here. I just wonder if free hitting in 19 is better. But I need to figure out if the players... like, if I free hit in 19, then I'm going to be stuck with 2 or 3 Spurs players for Liverpool at home and Chelsea at home in the 3 fixtures after the double. So I'm going to get my team back in game week 20. It's going to have 3 Spurs players in. Is that ideal? But then they have... Brighton, West Brom, West Ham. So I don't know. It's so tricky. It's so tricky. Every time I look at one strategy, I think, yeah, that's the way to go. And then I start thinking about the other way, and I think, actually, yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Anyway, that was a long answer to say, don't know. What would be my strategy if I had a wildcard? Easy. Wildcard game week 16, free hit 18, bench boost 19. Job done. Get rid of some of your chips. Easy does it. User, how's it going? Bring in Lamptey or a Burnley defender. Again, this is going to depend on your strategy now, I think, because they've both got okay fixtures, but Burnley's fixtures are better for like the next 4. So, to be honest, I'd bring in a Burnley defender, actually. Don't even need to think about that too much. Unless you happen to need Lamptey for game week 18, right? You bring in a player they blank. Come on, yeah, maybe. It happens. Should have just kept Son. I think it sounds like the extra hit you'll be taking means the early use of the second wildcard sounds like the better option. Rotation will be much greater in the second half of the season. Look at February fixture dates. Yeah, but I don't know. We're always worried about rotation, and for the main players like Salah and co, it doesn't really make much difference, does it? They always play. So not too worried about rotation. Like if I had this team now in February, now obviously I know the fixtures aren't really, you know, might not be favourable in February, but who here is getting rotated regularly? Maybe Reguilon or Reguilon. Not Bamford, not Calvert-Lewin, not Watkins, not Grealish, not De Bruyne, not Salah, not Fernandes. So I don't know. I'll think about a wild card in game week 19. I don't know if I'd do it. I don't know. Keep Rashford or get Salah for a hit. I'd only get Salah in for a hit if I was captain him. Otherwise, I'd probably just keep Rashford, to be completely honest. Is Bowen good? Bowen's good, yeah. Like Bowen. I once bought him on Football Manager for Man United, then didn't play him and just sold him the next season. Not great. Don't forget injuries. Yeah, of course. I think that's one of the good things about like maybe free hitting in 19 is you're not worried about which double game week players are available because you've got the free hit to get in whoever you need. My thoughts are you'll miss out on any points if you have players not playing, whereas in game week 19 they still play a game. I don't get it. Should I get someone else in for Wilson? Doesn't Wilson have Fulham this week? So, no. You always say Reguilon won't play, and he always does. Apart from literally the last game where he didn't play. Lucas, how's it going? How do you play blank and double game with no free hit wildcard? I honestly think, right, again, I've not looked into it too much, but I would say you probably have to go into the game week 18 with only 7 or 8 players, maybe 9, and then use a few transfers into game week 19 to go for like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 double game week players. Obviously, you've got to remember, any team playing in game week 18 still plays in game week 19. So the likes of Spurs, for example, they have Villa in game week 18, and in the double game week, yes, they don't play twice, but they got Sheffield United away. It's a good fixture. Same with Man City. They've got Brighton at home in the blank, and then they've got Crystal Palace at home, and then West Brom, Sheffield United, Burnley. So you're still going to want these players. So you just have to maybe not have 11 players in game week 18, and then not have a full 11 double game weeks in game week 19. It won't necessarily be the end of the world. But obviously, the only thing is having like De Bruyne, Kane and Son without a double game week in 19, they're so expensive, it's going to leave you difficult to get the likes of Fernandes, Salah, Vardy, Liverpool defender, etc. So again, this is why you just can't give blanket advice for these situations. There's so much to think about. Rafael, how's it going? George, how's it going? Would you sell Mahrez? If yes, replace with who for same or lower price? I'd probably keep him for this week unless there was anything major you needed to do, because surely he's going to play. Surely he's going to play this week after not playing the last game. I know that's like I know that's dangerous with Pep, but I think he'd probably play. So the only kind of players would be Bowen or Grealish, I think. I'm just thinking for 8.4 million, is he, or 8.5? Bowen, Grealish, maybe like someone like Rafinha, but I might just keep him for this week. I think long term he's going to be annoying to own, but I don't know if this is the week to go for. Jota is already considered a viable alternative to Salah, so that's who will be back by February, and the rotation will be greater. I don't think it will be. Like Salah's first choice. Like, okay, Salah might miss a game in February, but do you really think Salah's missing more than one Premier League game? Like, I think when people talk about rotation, what they forget is the league is still there to be won. Klopp's not going to start rotating Salah like 2 out of every 4 games. Do you know what I mean? There's still a league to be won. So, yes, Jota is a viable replacement, but Salah's not missing more than like 1 game in every 4. And I'd even be surprised if it's that many, to be honest. So I'm not worried. Like Fernandes, he ain't missing games. Salah's not missing many games. De Bruyne definitely ain't missing games. So I'm not really too worried about it. I think it'll be one of those things that's blown out of proportion. Thoughts on my free hit team for Game Week 18? I mean, one thing I will say is, right, don't worry about your... If you're deciding you're free hitting, don't worry about what the team looks like now, because... One, it doesn't matter, because in that many game weeks' time, it could be completely different. And if someone's injured, it'll be different as well. But it looks fine. Like, you've got all the main players there you'd want, but from what I can see, although only, 2 City players. So, yeah, I mean, it looks fine. Newcastle goalie against Sheffield United. Probably be the week that Ramsdale does really well. But yeah, it looks fine, but don't worry about it until you actually get to the week. Or maybe the week before and think about it. Will, what about Kane triple captain instead of free hit in game week 19? I wouldn't triple captain Kane against Sheffield United away, to be honest, when I could just use it in a double game week. So not for me. Not for me. I certainly wouldn't do it instead of free hitting if I really needed to free hit. Free hit definitely more beneficial, I would say. Why didn't they just combine 18 and 19? It's fairer and saves us all the hassle. Yeah, I mean, FPL aren't really looking to try and save us hassle. If anything, it's better for them. It's more engagement of the game, right? People really want to know what's going on, so they'll go and watch more content. They'll watch more Premier League and stuff, so it's good for FPL. At the end of the day, FPL don't move deadlines at all, unless it's like, a Saturday game gets moved to Friday or something. So they already know when the deadlines are going to be, so the matches have to fit in with them. That's why it happens, so they're not going to change it. Plus, I know it's a massive headache, but there's potential for so many gains for this because a lot of people just won't bother researching and they'll be left stuck. So it's a good time to make some gains. And again, -4 to swap goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper's Matt Ryan, then probably. If it's anyone else, probably not. Unless they're not playing. Tommy, how's it going? Bruno to Son. Mendy to Souček. I mean, if you have to play Mendy every week, then maybe. If you don't, then just keep him. And do Bruno to Son if you want, but I wouldn't do it just to fund Souček right now. It's the fear of losing Salah for the Champions League knockout stage. The league games will be seen as easier than a trip to Bayern, for example. I just... Salah's going to just play it all, isn't he? I'm not saying Salah will not be rotated, but he won't be rotated enough where I feel like it's an issue having him. Well, I would just have him. And more often than not, he'll just play the Premier League game and the Champions League game. I mean, he's just played a game in the Champions League which meant absolutely nothing and then played the next game a few days later. Like, if he was going to rest him, that Champions League game was the perfect time. It meant absolutely nothing, maybe a bit of money for winning, and he still played Salah. So I'm not worried at all. Potential Matt Ryan replacements. I have 0.4 in the bank, plus 4.4 from selling, so 4.8. I think dependent, like, I hate talking about the double game week so much because I know people get annoyed because you're kind of fixated on it. But if you needed a double game week keeper, I'd possibly look at Meslier. If you don't, then I'd look at Martinez still, I think. I think Martinez is still decent. Maybe McCarthy, but I prefer Martinez. Gonna free hit 18, bench boost 19, then wildcard 20. The only issue is that there will be, according to Ben Crellin, if you're not following him, go and follow him on Twitter. There will be blank game weeks in game week 29 because of the FA Cup fixtures needing to be rearranged or played, and then the Premier League fixtures needing to be rearranged. So in game week 29, there will probably be a blank game week, and therefore you will need to have a way to have enough players for that week, but also then have a good amount of players afterwards that you still want to keep. So if all the players that blank, or play in the blank, are still good options going forward, then you'll be fine. But if they're not, you're going to need... you're not necessarily going to need, but you're going to want a free hit or a wild card, I think. So for example, you could dead end your team into game week 29, so you get good points beforehand, and then you get the team you need for game week 29. So there's no blank players. And then because your team's like maybe awful, but it was good for that week, you then wildcard out of it for the rest of the season. So you'd wildcard in game week 30 and have like 9 game weeks left of the season. Joe, you're sick of seeing Ollie Watkins. You're so sick of it. You've done 2 super chats to tell me. It's West Brom away. Like I like seeing that. I like seeing good fixtures on my team. I know, he's annoying though. So I said this earlier on Twitter. I got Che Adams from game week 1 to 4. He got me 1 assist. I then switched to Morpay. He got me nothing. I transferred him out in game week 10. Like literally got no returns for me. No assist, no goal. Transferred him out in Game Week 10 for Watkins. Game Week 10, 11, 12, 13. Obviously didn't play in one of them, but 0 points for Watkins. So I've had 1 assist from my third striker spot, Adams, Morpay, Watkins. So he has to get me something, West Brom and Crystal Palace. He has to. Has to. I took a minus 44 out of rage last night and free hit today with no wildcard left to save rank. Who are some players you would use in a free hit team? Oh my god. A free hit team this week. Why rage strats and then use your free hit? Yeah, I mean, probably quite similar to the team I've got, to be honest. I'd probably go for triple Liverpool, probably double City, De Bruyne, Diaz, maybe Mahrez. Grealish still, Lamptey, Kane. I'd probably have Kane in, Fernandes, 1 or 2 Chelsea defenders, those kind of players, I think. Why wouldn't you want a free hit? Isn't it what they're meant for? Yeah, but obviously you still don't know what's going to happen down the line, right? Because with the blanks, it's going to create more double game weeks. So will there be a good opportunity to maybe free hit and then wildcard later on? Maybe. I probably will use it in Game Week 18 or 19 because I don't think I'm going to have a better opportunity, but it's always worth looking at all eventualities, right? It's not that I'm writing the free hit off. I'm just considering if there's another kind of way to do it, you know? It's very hard not to just talk about double game weeks and blanks on these streams now. It's going to be like this all over Christmas. I'm telling you that now. Forget Santa Claus. It's all about free hits now for the next couple of weeks. I sold Bamford for more pay just before he scored a hat-trick. Oh, wow, against Villa. That is harsh. I think the best strategy is to build a team for Game Week 18 and free hitting it. Yeah. A lot of people are going to do that. Is Aguero viable? No, I mean, he's just played a few minutes. Like, let's see what Pep says. Last time he played a few minutes, he started missing games again afterwards. I think Aguero is just stretching for a player. Like, I know how good Aguero can be on his day, but it just feels like a risk just not worth taking, you know? Like, he could score you some big points. It's Southampton away and Newcastle at home, but is he going to play both those games? And if not, which one's he going to play? I don't think we know. De Bruyne to Son, the Belgium is simply not getting enough points. Fun fact, last 4 game weeks, De Bruyne has got more points than Son. So make of that what you will. One of them plays Southampton away, Newcastle at home. The other one plays Leicester and Wolves. After that, you can decide. Is Sanchez Brighton worth a shout? Good second keeper. Well, the thing is, I mean, I feel like he probably will keep his place now because he's going to play in the next game as well. But are you sure you want to risk it? And also, it's Brighton. I've got Lamptey. It's bad enough. I don't know if I'd be looking at Sanchez, to be honest. Should I leave Werner in for the West Ham and Arsenal game? Here we go. I think it depends what your moves are that you could get rid of, who you could get rid of him for. Like, if you could do a straight swap to Kane, I'd consider it. But Werner against West Ham is a good fixture. So if you've got nothing else to do and you could just save a transfer instead, I'd be tempted to save the transfer. Villa next 3 or West Brom, Chelsea United. No, that's not. That ain't true. It's West Brom, Palace, and then Chelsea, I think. It's West Brom, Crystal Palace, then Chelsea, then Man United. Then we're in the blank game. Can they play Spurs? Surely I and you can't keep them for that running. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not all 3. Like, Watkins would probably be the first one to go. I think Grealish could get points against anyone. And Martinez is a goalie, so I'm never in a rush to do that. But yeah, you're right. It's not a great run. But I don't think if you kept Grealish through this, it'd be that bad. But obviously, if you can make moves to other players, it's not necessarily the end of the world if you have to keep 1 or 2. Salah had just been off due to COVID-19, isn't it? We'll agree to disagree. I'm not. I'm never going to agree that Salah's suddenly going to start getting rotated loads because of Champions League games. It just ain't going to happen. He's their main man. Him and Mane just ain't happening. But let's see. We'll worry about it in February. You have to sign Kane or Son. They're essential. I saw that. Right. So I've done a preview video tomorrow. It's going to go out at 10 a.m. I think in the morning. UK time, and I've talked about this perception that Kane and Son are essential, and unfortunately I recorded it before Fernandes blanked tonight, but yeah, I think it'd make interesting viewing for you, so make sure you watch that before you start thinking that Son and Kane are essential. I think there's too much rank checking going on when Spurs are playing, and it's affecting people's perceptions a little bit. Not saying they're bad choices, and I will probably look to bring them back in, but yeah, that's what it's like at the moment. I don't think they're essential. They're good, not essential. I might really regretting that when Kane scores a hat-trick against Leicester, but we'll see. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there because it's a late one. It's 10 to 11. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please do give the video a like. Thanks for sticking with me through this awful internet as always. And hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. And a quick shout out to all the patrons as well, everyone up on the Legends Wall. If you haven't already checked that out, there is a link in the description below if you want to support me and the channel a little bit further. I just answered this one. Joe Pickford, I thought you were going to say something about Watkins again. Liverpool playing first and Salah captain makes me anxious. I can't do anything about that. Don't worry about it, I would say. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You always say Antonio when he's fit, but when's he fit? I don't know. That's the beauty. You get to just wait. But anyway, I'm going to shoot off now. Thanks very much. The preview video is out at 10 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully, anyway. And I'll have a captaincy video tomorrow as well in the evening. And then a deadline stream at 10:15 on Saturday morning as well. And then we are done for Game Week 14. We're looking ahead to Game Week 15. Thanks very much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you again soon.